you, Unity Band. All your fans are here this morning, I can tell. Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, and welcome to you that are joining us online. The magic of technology, isn't that great? If you're with us for the first time, a special welcome. And it's the same to you that are joining us online for the first time. If you're here in person, hopefully you got a little bag of popcorn. Thanking you for popping in. Really glad to see you. We'd love to have you fill out, we have a little connection card if you'd like any more information or get on our email list. That's an easy way to do it, whether you're online or in person. Good news is today the coffee bar is open because of volunteers. Who volunteered for today? Who's our coffee? All right, yay! Today's heroes. And we are signed, we have people for next week, but after that, if you want to keep the coffee flowing, you have the power. It sits in your lap. We are a prayer ministry, and we have a wonderful prayer team available to pray with you about concerns or celebrations. Our prayer box is over there. You just put first names on the prayer slip. If you're online, you can send us an email, or on our website, there's a place you can submit a prayer request electronically. Let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. This comes out of a vision of seeing a world powerfully transformed through a growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And I love the words of Charles Fillmore, who said, "We don't care what tradition you follow, we just want you to be better at it." Yeah, well, it's interesting that yesterday was the start of Ramadan, which is a month-long celebration of Muslims, which is a quarter of the world's population. And it celebrates when Muhammad took a 30-day fast to get closer to God. And nothing much happened until the last couple of days, and then there was a lot of revelation through the Quran to him. This was like a transformational moment for him. So that's why people abstain from food, drink, and sex during the day. And they get to indulge at night. But the whole purpose of this is to really deepen their faith and deepen their understanding of the faith. So this started on Saturday, and then Wednesday, in the Christian tradition, is the beginning of Lent. Again, another time of restraining from things so that you can focus on the deeper internal stuff. It's about, in Unity, we talk about giving up negative thoughts, habits that don't serve us, this idea of separation, that there's God in us, into the oneness. So the same way, it's a time of refocusing from the outer into the inner. And when you see these two major holidays so close in purpose, is there any doubt that it's not about the right or the wrong religions? Understanding that we're all on the same path. One light, many lamps. Let's affirm together. The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. With that, we're going to turn to a little song here. Mr. Greg is going to take us away musically.
Mr. Greg. Ooh.
Mr. Greg. This seems appropriate for these days and these times.
Before the craziness begins, I breathe deep and go within. Here I am, an empty cup. I pray, God, please fill me up. Help me see your grand design. Lead me to a quiet mind. Right now I have all I need. All that's left to do is
Breathe.
Before the craziness begins,
Breathe. What a great reminder to breathe. It's a great time also to pray for our neighbors with whom we share this planet. The thing I really wanted to, struck me to really hold our farmers in prayer. There's a lot of things going on that impacts them with trade with other countries and climate change and all that. Also, certainly our birds, either chickens or our wild birds, and also the bird flu is hitting the cattle. So, holding all those really important things for day-to-day life in our prayers. And in Texas, we're having the measles outbreak, the children that are experiencing that, holding them in our prayers for healing. And there's a lot of peace negotiations, ceasefires, and hostages and changes that are all kind of like in discussion right now. And just to hold that in our prayers. And with that, let's just take a moment. That's a big plate. Let's close our eyes and breathe. Feeling ourselves centered in that place that is within, so that we might look without and carry that peace forward. Blessing those that work to support us in survival in this country, our farmers and their livestock. Blessing those who are experiencing measles or any illness at this point, affirming the truth that within their bodies there is a wisdom and a strength that allows them to move towards a healing path of wholeness. And wherever there is discord, different sides, different opinions within our world, we hold to the truth of the oneness, knowing that there is a place where they can meet out beyond the fields of right and wrong, to that place where there's a greater solution, a greater resolution, and a greater expression of love. For our ability to see the truth despite outer appearances, and for our deepening faith in the activity of love and harmony and wisdom within our world and within ourselves. We say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. And today we've been having some prayer practitioner training. I'd like to invite Reverend Grace up to talk to her prayer practitioners, and we're going to bless them this morning. I'm just going to be up here as a helper, and you coming up to join us? Yeah, okay. Are you good on the stairs? Okay. Oh, it's on. Oh, good. I'll hold it away from me so I don't squeal. You like the squealing part?
Good morning. I'm Reverend Grace Nicodemus, and I'm delighted to be here today to share with you a team that we've put together for prayers for you, so that you'll have people to talk to after each Sunday service. They'll be lined up right here, and all you have to do is say, I would like you to pray with me. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about the 4-week training that they went through in order to complete their association with the prayer team. And they are called prayer.
It's just slipping down.
Oops, gotta get it right. I thought we were going to be after birthdays, but that's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay, not a problem. I would have had it on right then. They're prayer practitioners, and one of the things that they learned during this time is the difference between a prayer chaplain and a
Prayer.
Practitioner and chaplain. That's what I was trying to say. Some of the things that they learned was the definition of prayer. And what we had as the definition is prayer is the simplest form to any conscious attempt to experience the presence of God. Wow. So that's what they're holding with you as they say a prayer for you. They've learned active listening, so that they can really hear and understand what's going on with you, so that their prayer can be targeted to what you're needing at the time. Or celebrating. It could be a celebration as well. They did learn that the prayer with you is confidential and it's safe, and all is kept within the prayer team, so nothing is talked about afterward. They learned how to use denials and affirmations for affirmative prayers. They also learned a few things about things to avoid. So you've always got to have both sides of this. So they will be here, as I said, right here after the service today, so that they can pray with you. I'm very pleased to acknowledge, do we have the names up? Yeah, there they are. Jeff will be here, and in, April, he will be able to start as a prayer practitioner as well. And Luann and Carla, and Jane's not able to be here today. She's not feeling really well. But I'd like to invite Luann up as our prayer practitioner. You have now officially completed your training, and so congratulations. You worked hard, and you're still going, so thank you. And now I'd like to go. Wow.
As you're blossoming in your prayer work.
You can stay up here just for a second, because we want Carla to come up, please. Carla has had training before and went through the 4 weeks all over again. So we're delighted to have her knowledge and experience, and we'll give her a rose as well as she continues to blossom. Thank you very much, and we'll be here at the end of the service.
Well, before they go, we all like to sing together our thoughts, our prayers, because, I mean, because we all know why.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
And thank you for stepping forward. Grace, thank you for running the training. Well, they're going back. I'd like to invite all the March birthdays to come up, because I know there's some Pisces and Aries here. Yeah. It's a good month for a birthday. Oh, I forgot. We are almost birthday twins, Derek. Ooh, cool. Cool. All right. Oh, okay. Take it away. We sing some happy birthdays. We have birthday cards. Pick your blessing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
You're wonderful.
Happy birthday to
I got mine too.
and many
Yeah. Okay, with that, back to your tables. A little discussion for you at the tables. I keep hearing this term about flooding the zone. And I was wondering, in your life, what's flooding your zone right now? It's going to be different for each of us. You know, sometimes you go through, did you ever get your zone flooded because of cars that keep breaking down? This morning, our zone got flooded with getting online to YouTube. The craziness began before the service. That's really important to have that. So think about it.
Well, guess what? We breathed. and
We
took care
breathe.
of it.
Yeah,
Yes,
fine.
we did. So,
Okay,
Yeah, he muted us.
I
so-
know, but I realized that, yeah, we're talking there. Yeah.
So when you in your zone, just mean like your awareness, your circle of awareness?
Or just life seems overwhelming. There's just too much coming at you to handle.
flooding, yeah.
I get that sometimes because we've been going through the puppy training.
Yeah.
I have my schedule, and then there's these uncontrollable schedules of these little four-legged furries.
Tell me about
you
it.
know. And some days I'm just going, I can't. Like last night, they were up every 2 hours, and I got up. I let them at 11, got up with them again at 1, and then when they woke up at 4, and I said, Max, I can't do this.
Ours isn't quite that. Our situation's a little more sedate because we have one older calming influence dog.
It's our first time without the older dog to train them.
Yeah.
But, you know, you feel, that's what I feel flooded. My zone feels flooded. Like
Yeah.
there's just too much to
Well, it's a
handle.
little bit overwhelming. It's almost like sensory overload,
Yeah.
right?
Demand overload, or there's just
Well,
too many
and
plates spinning.
It's like mine's weird because I feel like I'm being flooded with infinite joy, peace. and
Oh,
so-
that's
so
kinda cool.
it's
That's a
almost-
different
but it's the same kind
perspective.
of thing. It's almost too much, too fast.
Beyond our consumption.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm straining the limits of our little,
You
my
want-
little three-dimensional.
You want a
brain.
dessert and you got a whole bakery.
There you go.
And they're just turning the stuff out.
The thing is, I don't want to like pig out or I'll get sick.
Yeah,
so I'm
our
just-
capacity.
Pace myself. Right?
Yeah.
So no, it's all good. I guess that's a problem. I guess that's a situation that I should be thankful for.
All I can think of is Lucille Ball in the chocolate factory where the
Oh my gosh,
chocolates
with
are
the
coming
chocolates
out.
go-
Yeah, and it's
I'm
just
sorry.
too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like getting by her, and then she started eating them. That's a classic scene. But okay,
That's a flooded zone.
I think that's
okay.
a great topic. So
Okay.
shall we
Get
start
back
with
to one big family. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Yep.
All right, we're going to bring the energy up. If you feel like standing, please do. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us get of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Is it on? Okay. I'm recovering from the flu, and I just got out of breath. But it's good breath. So, good morning. I'm Kathy Assiff, your platform assistant for today. Our daily word is positivity, inspired by this proverb, keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the spring of life. It's been said, most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. These words show us the importance of positivity and how an upbeat attitude can keep us afloat upon the rough waters of life. Positivity helps us to see the world as full of joy and possibility. Difficulties may arise, but our confident faith in the goodness of God gives us the power to cross the stormy seas to find calm waters and the warmth of sunshine. The light of God surrounds us, enfolds us, and uplifts us. When we center our thoughts on the divine within, we feel equipped to meet all challenges. God's indwelling grace sees us through the stormy days. Even if squalls of sadness toss us about, by faith we will outlast the gales and reach calm seas again. Let us affirm together, through positivity, I can do all things. March is Women's History Month, a time to highlight the roles of women in our history, accomplishments and progress which were aided and abetted by women without attributing it to the women involved. That's a problem. There's a saying by former Chinese Communist Party leader Mao Zedong that women hold up half the sky. What a liberating concept this is, that men do not have to do all of the work, that men and women work well as equals. Speaking of sky, many of us seen the movie Hidden Figures, the story of 3 African-American women who are called human computers. They were geniuses at math and computer science. They manually calculated the successful trajectory analysis for Alan Shepard's 1961 and John Glenn's 1962 missions. They set a path for future generations and opened doors for both women and African Americans. Thank you, Dorothy, Catherine, and Mary, for a job well done. It's now my pleasure to welcome Lila Epley for some of her wonderful music. I heard it practice, and she's wonderful.
So everybody has those times in their lives where they have to make hard decisions. I know I have. I'm assuming all of you guys have too. But sometimes in order to keep growing and moving forward, you have to shed those things that are holding you back. And this song is about finding your voice and standing up for yourself in the face of those hard choices you have to make. Listen to the song here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete. Listen to the sound from deep within. It's only beginning to find
That was just wonderful. Just brought chills. Thank you. You know, not only humans have dreams they need to listen to. There was a little mouse who had a dream. He had a dream of going and seeing the seashore. He had heard so much about it. So he went to his parents and said, okay, I'm going off on my adventure. I'm going to go to the seashore. And they said, whoa, wait a minute. That's a far ways away, and there's a lot of dangers out there. I really don't think you should go. You know, why don't you just stay here with us where it's nice and safe? And he couldn't. He was so compelled by this dream. He had to go to the seashore. And sure enough, he wasn't far from home when the dangers started appearing. The first one was a cat who decided this looked like a really good lunch. Well, let me tell you this. He did escape without his tail. So, you know, sometimes we listen to that dream, there is a cost. There's some troubles that accompany it. And so last week I was talking about don't sweat the small stuff. It's really all small stuff. But you know that as soon as this book was out, there were other people that had the equivalent of losing their tail to a cat that attacked them, which is hardly the small stuff. And as Richard Carlson said, would this matter a year from now when we're worrying about this stuff? So anyway, it seems only natural you had to come up, what about the big stuff? Because we say, this is small stuff, what are we going to do about the big stuff? Like, maybe losing a body part might be considered one of the big things, right? I think the trick is in life, which is which? Which is the little stuff and which is the big stuff? Which are the things that we should invest some energy in to change? Which are the things that we should just try to find a harmony with, to let go? So, mismatched shoes. Anybody walk out of the house with, yeah, you know, and you're mortified, but it's really small stuff, right? Your car breaks down, but your credit cards are maxed out. Wow. I mean, right then it feels like the end of the world. What are you going to do? Especially if it's in Michigan in the middle of winter. Or you've been diagnosed with a serious illness, and it's so easy to go into that, oh no, stage. You know, it's not fair. It's pretty big stuff that we're going through. How about you have an argument with a loved one. You feel awful. Maybe the argument was about leaving the bread wrapper, you know, they didn't tie it up afterwards. Whatever it was, the feeling that's left behind from that small stuff can have an impact. Natural disasters, losing your job, losing a romantic partner. Or what about winning the lottery? There is, you know, because that has the downsides and the upsides. And there's this wonderful story I have to share with you about the lottery. Over in Toulouse, France, Jean David, somebody had stolen his wallet. And it was two guys that were involved with this, and they had used the card at a local convenience store and bought a lottery ticket that won. So it just so happens that the lawyer for these two people that stole his wallet and this man whose wallet they stole had the same lawyer. So they were trying to negotiate. Here is what the victim, quote, victim, decided. He said, if they hadn't stolen my wallet, the lottery ticket would have been bought, and we're talking $500,000 here, €500,000, which is about 525 million US. So what I'm willing to do, I won't press charges, and we'll split the winnings if they just come back. Wow, that's big stuff. I can tell you right there, that's big stuff to get to that spot. Can you imagine? What would you do if somebody stole your wallet, your credit cards, and used it to buy the winning lottery ticket? Curious, huh? Curious. So anyway, winning the lottery can be kind of an interesting situation too. So as we go through life, we're going to have these big things and the small things. And the first thing we really need to do is to be prepared. We have a whole tool chest, sometimes a tool belt, of tools that we can use. And I think, for me, a key thing with spirituality is that it doesn't become so rigid and overbearing or burdensome that at some point you just don't do any of it. But all those little things we do add up. So using affirmations, really kind of watching our thoughts. You know, all our thoughts are prayers. We're always praying. How do we show up in life? Unity's fifth principle is about, it's not just knowing the truth, it's acting it. So even if we only pick one of them that we do, we take 30 seconds to do an affirmation 5 times every day. that I am one with love, I'm one with God, whatever that affirmation is. Those little things change our thinking so that when something happens, be it big or small, we're prepared. We have a tool to go back through to. I call them yellow sticky notes in my mind, because in the midst of it, sometimes you forget. But you want those little reminders that say, no, you got this. There's something you can do. You're not a victim. You're a participant in this, and these are the things that you can do. So to really know that we are prepared at whatever level we're comfortable with, that doesn't stop us from living. You know, we're not monks that go up into the mountains and go away from society and all people and make life perfect because you're not dealing with it, that whole thing. Second one I think is really important, and that is to maintain a sense of humor and perspective. At one point in my life, I had 5 kids in the house, 4 of them teenagers, and 1 bathroom. The toilet paper roll was always empty when I went in the bathroom. Anybody live in a household situation like that? So I had a brilliant idea. I was going to stick a $20 bill underneath the tube, so the person that changed it would get all this money, and they'd be motivated to do it. Well, I'll tell you, I have a son who just has this real affinity with prosperity. I swore Damien never changed a tube, but he got the $20 bill on that. But it's, you know, so it's about being prepared. What are you going to do about those end of toilet paper rolls, if you will? And I love this bathroom. Do you notice how that floor looks very much like the floor we have in the activity room? Now we know what Stacy and Jerry did in that one stall that's so special there. To really experience life and to our humanness and to have fun with it. You know, I sometimes wonder how we procreate because we're such funny creatures. How do we even get along with each other? I mean, we all have these little bizarre little traits, each of us, that are very unique to us, that seems like it's just the natural way to do things. Richard Carlson in his book says, the more we appreciate life and experience joy, the more we can balance the pain and keep things in perspective. There is no life that is all one or all the other. Sometimes it may feel weightier on one end or the other depending on where we're focusing, where we're investing our energy. What we resist persists. You know, what we focus on grows. We know these as basic truths in our life. And when we can be compassionate, when we can be kind, it literally eases the pain. It eases physical pain. It certainly eases emotional pain. Because something about compassion and kindness is an interactive door that kind of opens that flow to energy that is greater than ours. Reminds us that we're not alone. Our focus isn't insular, isn't siloed. It's interconnected. Whenever we're interconnected, we're always better together. Why do we have people that pray with us? Because we're 2 or more gathered. Jesus said, you know, there I am. There's a greater energy. It multiplies out. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 equals a greater avenue into the infinite, if you will. And a story that is from a few years ago, back in 2013, out in Oklahoma, there was a tornado. And some of the people there that, just as we just had the fires in Los Angeles, you have terrible devastation, incredible pain, lost life, all that going on. And some of the heroes of this little town of Moores down in Oklahoma, there was this teen, Jacob Lyles, who went to where there was a school that had collapsed in and was working furiously to pull students out. 7 students were lost in that tornado. But he worked so hard to save as many young kids. He was just a teen. He wasn't anything, quote, special, other than he was who he was. And he has gone on now to become an EMT. He found his purpose that day, being compassionate and kind, even though his family lost their house, even though it was pretty scary and certainly traumatic, if you will. Then one of the school teachers, Rhonda Crosswhite, she stayed at where her classroom was. The roof had fallen in on them, and helped make sure that all of her kids got to safety. And the stories that she tells is saying, Mrs. Crosswhite, please don't leave me. I love you, I love you, I love you. They were so grateful for their teacher as she helped each one of them out. She didn't lose one of her students. And she has continued to teach. You know, you have those kind of heart connections. It just doesn't go away. And then down the street, there was a convenience store. You know, they don't have quality dairies down in Oklahoma, but those stores we stop in. And as the tornado was hitting there was a sergeant that was there. And he saw it coming, went into the store, and he used his body to shield 3 co-workers and 4 customers. They were all safe. He was hit just below the spine with some of the falling debris, and he's now in a wheelchair. But he doesn't regret a moment of it. He would still do it again. There is something about being compassionate and kind, whether it's to the people that stole your wallet and bought the winning lottery ticket, or those that help you in the time of disaster, that opens up a space in our heart that is just so different than anything we can do on our own. Bottom line is that gratitude is the essential component when we're going through all this stuff. Not always easy. Not always easy. Deepak Chopra says there's a basic principle that the mind follows anything that fascinates it. Think about that. Anything that fascinates it. And you know what fascinates our minds very much are the scary movies, the horror shows. Where if we did any spiritual practice, it could be that of trying to find that to be grateful for. Well, my mind's going to a big stuff thing. Not ready to talk about that yet. Okay. So our mind can really get focused on whatever that fascinates it. And if it is gratitude, it opens amazing things. The Apostle Paul, 2,000 years ago, said, in all things give thanks. He didn't say in just the good things give thanks. He said in all things give thanks. And that's almost like a little trite thing that throws out and go, yeah, but you don't know what I'm going through. How can I give thanks for this pain, for this loss? You know, whatever that thing might be. But if we can start in that practice of being grateful, it both strengthens us, gives us a greater superpower, our power of the month, as Luann was talking about this morning. And it also helps us know that we are bigger than the situation, bigger than the problem, bigger than the pain, even if it's that emotional pain of a loss. Robert Edmond says, it's easy to feel grateful when life is good, but when disaster strikes, gratitude is worth the effort. I never thought of it that way. That gratitude is worth the effort even when we're suffering, even when the loss has just been so extreme, you don't think there can be another day beyond that. So gratitude does help us cope in hard times. I think that little mouse that lost half of his tail, he was real grateful that he got away. What's the tail? You know, I can do other things. I can pin something on there to place it off. So it helped him cope on his journey as he was going off to live his dream. And I think there's a difference between feeling grateful and getting to the point where you're actually being grateful. When we're being grateful, it's a thing that's not about a thing. It's just a feeling of expansive well-being. Like if you could draw it, if I was an artist to draw it, it would just, there's a constant opening. We talk about being in the flow. It's just life always opening, 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 opening. Not about whether you lost, whether you won. And they actually have done tests that we can be grateful. And that beingness, it increases our immune system psychologically. Now, we all know that we have days that we're down, and our capacity for anything unexpected is about this big. But we have that vaccine that gives us that psychological immunity. All of a sudden, our capacity to handle things is so much bigger. And you know what? When our capacity is bigger, the problems get smaller because it's a relative world. So if we have this much capacity and the problem is this big, wow, smashed down like an elephant smashing out. But if our capacity is this big, how little that problem seems to be in the light of all things. A lot of our journey in life, I think, is a path of feelings. And I don't know how long since any of you played Monopoly, but one of the great cards was the get out of jail free card. You kind of hold that in your back pocket. You know, maybe gratitude's one of those get out of jail free cards. If you can sit in that attitude of true gratitude, being so grateful, it gets us out of that. The one thing with gratitude in really dire situations, all of a sudden it's like a reset, it's renewal, that revitalization of all the things that we take for granted, having a deeper appreciation. When you lose a loved one, one of the first things you want to do is call the other people that you love. right? I mean, they're there, family, friends, whatever, they're there, and you go, oh, I'll call them tomorrow, I'll call them the next day, whatever it might be. But when you have that deep grief happening, you have this wonderful way of all of a sudden go, wait a minute, maybe they won't be here tomorrow, maybe they won't be here this afternoon. Why put off making that kind connection? Why put off the phone call, the letter, the email, whatever it might be? The other thing on that path is that we kind of have a choice about whether we're going to sit in the way things are, and if that's untenable, sometimes we build up righteous anger. We talked a little bit about righteous anger last week, about the way things should be or could be. And every time we get caught in that cycle of feelings about this isn't fair, this is the way it should be, this is the way it should have been, this is the way, as opposed to seeing what is actually here, it just puts off us evolving through it, growing through it, accepting it, moving past it. Every time we decide there's a should have, a could have, a would have, we have built a wall that becomes a silo and keeps us stuck in time, right in that pain, right in that discomfort, without being able to find what we're really looking for, that peace inside. Always, what way are we looking? Dietrich Bonhoeffer said, gratitude changes the pangs of memory into a tranquil joy. Think about that. Gratitude changes the pangs of memory into a tranquil joy. I know you can feel that what a tranquil joy is. It's not the bouncy, bubbly thing, but all of a sudden, it's kind of a sense of optimistic peace that settles within us. Once we become grateful for it. Sometimes losses that are so great, especially losses of a loved one or of a home or of a job, is so great in the moment, but you know there comes a day where you can look back and chuckle about that funny thing that happened. A day that you can look back in appreciation of the real common stuff that didn't seem so big at the time, and all of a sudden takes on that greater meaning. So here's a little mental exercise for you. Think about a big stuff event in your life. Maybe it's something from the past, recent past or far past. That big event that threw you for a loop. Okay? You got something? I'm not going to ask you to talk about it. And then think about today. See right now how you're feeling in this moment. And then think about the contrast. What seemed maybe unlivable, that you could never get through it, is past. You have lived through it and you're sitting here today. The angst, the anger, the fear, the anxiety that you may have felt at that moment. I believe probably each one of you here is not feeling that same depth of somewhat toxic energy within our body. It certainly doesn't feel smooth and healthy and whole when we're fighting the situation, dealing with the stress, really being in that anxiety. And then when we think about the whole situation from that day into today, where is spirit in that situation? Where is the divine? Where is the wisdom? Where is the love? And as we look at it that way, it's not to relive it, but to reframe it. We put a nice little frame. We're such great storytellers. We made a great story around it at the time, probably included unfairness and what if this had been done differently, what if that had been done differently, and to reframe it to understand it was part of the process. This too is part of the flow, one of the rocks in the river, if you will. And boy, especially it's helpful to refocus around the really, really big stuff, really big stuff. You've heard about the optimist and the pessimist. There's the one, the half full. This is awesome, right? And the other one goes, oh, it's half empty. But there is another option to that. Oh, this little letter. Dear optimist, pessimist, and realist, while you guys are busy arguing about the glass of water, I drank it. Sincerely, the opportunist. See, it's not, sometimes we get so caught up in the rightness of the label, of the what-fors, that we miss the opportunity that we have right in front of us, if you will. So as we go through the big stuff and the little stuff, you've heard this before, let go and be more accepting. Because that's where the pain comes from, is when we struggle against something. When we struggle against something. If you ever, it's an interesting exercise to run if you have two people and one is pushing against the other and the other's trying to stand firm, you can knock the other one over. But if the other one goes with the flow, there's a flexibility, that movement within there. And I think about society, we have a lot of stigmas, and there's all these little stand up to stigma posters as opposed to hide. There's been so many stigmas over time. Back in the 80s, anybody with HIV, people wouldn't even touch them. If you were a teenager in the 60s that got pregnant, you were shipped off. There was a stigma about it. Mental illness right now is something that's really common. And finally, more and more people, are talking about it, taking the stigma away. Because all that is a label, and you got a get out of jail free card in your back pocket. You get to, guess what? It's reusable too. You get to use it as many times as you want. So we work with the small stuff, is allowing us to accept that inner wisdom, that nothing has that stigma attached to it. We're the ones that attach the stigma to it, that this is wrong, that this is unacceptable. Those are just stories that are made up. Our inner wisdom always tells us it's okay, it's just another way of seeing reality. And that we can be proactively responsive. Instead of letting things go, we can make that. I love this guy. It still blows me away, the guy with the lottery ticket, that he wants to split it with the robbers. I mean, this is just an amazing proactive statement. Instead of going to court, taking it all for himself, he saw the karmic relationship with all that. So all obstacles, I really believe that all obstacles really can become opportunities for us to do things. Every time in our society that something has failed, it's amazing how somebody invents something else that takes us to the next route. Skype. Has anybody Skyped before? Been on Skype? It was a big thing. No long-distance phone calls, right? Now it's obsolete. They just closed Skype because we have all these other ways of doing things. So we know that those obstacles, whatever they are in our lives, the same thing is true. Jesus said that we can't serve two masters. He said, either we'll hate one and love the other, or we'll be devoted to one and despise the other. When you think about it, serving two masters, we try to do this a lot of times in our head. If we're feeling anxiety, it means that we're serving the fear instead of the faith. You can't have the faith and the fear. Either there is a power within us that is also greater than us, or this is an adversarial world that's out to get us. We always have that choice. We cannot serve two masters, two different ways of thinking. And along that thought, there's this rainbow of feelings, all these kinds of things, even on the most singular thought. Think about it. At weddings, we both cry and laugh, right? Same way at funerals. I have heard funeral services where there's so much laughter you think it was a party going on because there was such a joy in the person that had passed. Patience and anxiety at a new task. I'll start out really patient, and then I'll get some anxiety, and then when I get past that one breaking point, I feel really good, and I can be, I got that, and patient again, going on with that. So we recognize that we have this range of emotions that can help us bring back into balance. And see this little bed here with all these people sleeping in it? I like to visualize that as all of my emotions, finally at harmony with each other. The bed is kind of the thought that was causing this rainbow of emotion. So anxiety and fear and happiness and peacefulness can all be in bed together, and there can be a harmony with that, and it's all okay. It's all okay. So really, today I think it's about letting one thought flood our zone, whatever that might be. Where are we placing our power? Where are we putting our faith? Finding that default setting for our minds. On your computer, when things get really messed up, you go to default, right? There's the perfect beginning setting. And really for us, it's the first unity principle, that there is only one power, one presence. We call it God the Good. It has many names. But knowing there is not two, there is only one, that we are part of that universal fabric, that great story. So we're going, go back to the little mouse there. He kept going even without his tail, and he had a lot of scary calls with other creatures coming after him. It was dark, it was hard. And finally he got over this one crest. He could smell it. The ocean was there. And as he got over the crest of the hill and he saw the ocean, he was gobsmacked. It was magnificent. And he got there, by the time he got there, it was just about sunset. And as the sun came down, There's that beautiful colors that form the horizon. And he goes, oh, I wish Mom and Dad were here. This is so beautiful. This is so peaceful. This is just what I thought it was going to be, and here I am. I'm really experiencing it. He felt so full and so perfect in that moment, knowing that in all the hard roads, it's worth that moment of true happiness. And so it is with us in our life. There are some hard roads, there's some falls, there's some bumped elbows and bruised knees, whatever that might be. But life is a gift. We want to experience all it with gratitude because that's the really big stuff. We're going to take a little time now to go into meditation. We're going to get into harmony together singing Sacred Love.
Can I share a real quick story
Sure.
about gratitude?
Yeah.
See, it's easy for me to be gratitude because about, 10 years ago now, I was almost legally blind. I was so myopic that I probably would have failed my next driver's test.
Wow.
Now I have almost perfect distance vision because cataract surgery. So something that some people might dread and might be they see it as a setback, changed my life. So
a
every
stigma?
morning, I wake up in the morning grateful. How could I not?
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let
Thank
me
you.
get my clicker.
Oh, don't go. Oh, you left your clicker again. You don't like your clicker today. Truth of our being, we are sacred love.
You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are.
Okay, you heard that. You sang it, you said it, your sacred love. So I invite you to take a moment to get self-centered in that sacred love. And just take that moment to, right now, go within, to allow ourselves to consciously be. To hold our tuning fork closely to that vibration which is gratitude. And because while we are fully divine, we are also fully human. We allow ourselves to feel wherever there might be tension or anxiety, aches and pains, from the emotional body to the physical body. We don't judge it. We don't try to push it away. There is no stigma. Instead, we allow our capacity to expand. Our heart and our breath are intricately connected and intimately connected. So we allow our breath to be that tool that expands our capacity. We breathe. but we breathe consciously. That as long as it takes for us to breathe in, we allow ourselves to take longer to breathe out. Anytime we find ourselves anxious, concerned, feeling less than or feeling threatened, that simple tool of allowing ourselves to take longer to exhale than to inhale is an immediate blessing to our heart, our physical heart, as well as our emotional heart. So let us just take a few moments with whatever is flooding our end zone, whatever is vibrating as anxiety, as big stuff, and turn it over to that inhale and exhale of God itself, breathing in and breathing out more. As we do this practice, this simple yet powerful practice, we find an ease of body and mind seeping into our awareness. Knowing that there is only one, that we are part of that one, that we are in the flow, that we are sacred love. And so it is. Amen. Look around the room and see if you can see some sacred peace.
You are sacred peace. Sacred peace is all that you are. You are sacred peace, God. Sacred peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. You are sacred joy, sacred joy is all that you are. You are sacred joy, God, sacred joy is all that you are. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are.
Let that be an earworm. Okay. So, spiritual practice for the week. Lent does begin on Wednesday, so on Tuesday, hit Quality Dairy for those donuts. And remember to breathe in and breathe out slower than you breathe in, and find gratitude in this situation or the condition. Because the big self knows the true self. It's all small self. With that, big self, small self, medium self. So we get to invite the Epleys up here, and Maddie's taking the lead on this one. Such a delight to have you all here with us. And this is such a great song you picked too. Love it.
when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. You'll reach up and you'll rise again if you only look around. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
Thank you, Maddie, Tracy, and Lila. That was incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by sharing of the blessings we have received. Giving is a matter of the heart, not of wealth. For those in person in the sanctuary, you can place your cash or check in the glass jar on the table, or you can use the QR code on the screen to give your support through PayPal. Whether or not you are sharing of financial gifts this week, we invite you to affirm the sacred exchange by placing a hand over your heart or holding your gift. We bless our gifts as we share of our love and our treasure by affirming together. Divine love, bless me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Our circle of generosity includes gratitude to every one of you who support Unity with your loving gifts. Our circle of generosity grows even larger when we share those gifts with others. As a tithing ministry, a portion of our tithes is shared with local charitable organizations that inspire and bless us. For the first quarter of 2025, our choice is Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Their mission is simple and powerful, to ensure that no kids sleep on the floor in our town. They make beds and supply them to youth who do not have a bed. Let us affirm our blessings as we sing, I Am So Grateful.
Now you know I am, right? Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 We're so grateful.
Derek is here to lead us in a blessing of the gifts we have received as a community. Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table. Let us affirm together.
Given in love, received in love. We dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you. Today at noon, A Course in Miracles with Dan and Carol Maynard will be meeting in the Upper Lodge classroom. Everyone is welcome to attend. The topic today will be Choose Again. Friday, March 7th at 1 p.m., the Lunch Bunch is meeting at Corey's on Cedar Street. Everyone is invited to join the social outing. It is helpful to contact Nancy Clater or the church office so we can reserve enough seats. But if you've become free at the last minute, drop-ins are always welcome. Next week, Unity is holding its 10th annual members meeting. Everyone can attend, but only members can vote. All members must renew their membership annually. The last time you can renew your membership for 2025 is prior to the start of the business meeting on March 9th. The new March Unity Pulse newsletter is on your tables. Be sure to check out information on art submission for Passion of the Creative Mind, as well as information on the Unity camping trip in May. Take a copy for your easy reference, pass it on to a friend. You can also check Unity's website or sign up for the weekly e-news to keep current on what's happening. A reminder that if you enjoy coffee and snacks with your Sunday service, you can sign up at the snack table. And remember that our prayer practitioners will be available to pray with you following service. You'll find them here near the podium. Let's create a consciousness of community as we sing Choose Love, followed by the prayer of protection. Feel free to stand in place or join the circle. A reminder to be respectful when taking someone else's hand.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace on the planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. We choose love. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.